location at 8088 Watson Road. Also being brought to you by NextCore. Powered by NextCore, this is my NextCore. And speaking of NextCore, big shout out to Jen and Vic. It was a great time being on their show on Monday. You can check it out on YouTube. I will share it again, but it was a lot of fun jumping on that show. Well, the world of sports is getting its action in as usual. Got the NBA bubble playoffs going on. You got Major League Baseball going on. You got NHL playoff hockey going on. Can't forget about the ladies of the WNBA. And also television is going on as well. Before we get underway, you know the routine. High fives all around the place. Chest bumping. If it's your birthday, happy birthday to you. If you're celebrating anything, congratulations to you all. Also to my softball family out there, we were dealt with a hard blow yesterday. One of our very own and a well-liked guy, very well-known, Lil Jeff, passed away yesterday. So my thoughts, condolences, and everything out to the family and friends of Lil Jeff. I met Jeff in 1982 down in the Peabody Projects. He was one of the first guys to teach the rules and regulations to my other good friend that I met down there, Coach Pat of AAU basketball, St. Louis Pressure. When I learned how to play the game of indoor and got on a team down there, and Lil Jeff was actually my first coach as a young man. So again, thoughts and prayers to Jeff and his family and all his teammates that he had. Great dude. Had a chance to play with him on the St. Louis Bombers and various other teams. His great coaching techniques out there. So he will be missed. He definitely will be missed. Well, the sports world has brought up a lot of different conversations. It's early in the week. NBA playoffs in their second day, going into their third day. Major League Baseball and its crazy schedule of what I like to call MLB 60, and as well what's going on with hockey and the WNBA. But there's something else going on in the world of sports that seems to spark a conversation again. And I can't remember this conversation as a young adolescent coming up in the world of sports. I could hear parents talking about this. And as I got older, I kind of understood what the parent was talking about. And what I'm talking about is these referees. We are not here to see you. No one is ever paying to go see a referee doing a professional event. Now, you may support a referee because he's your loved one, husband, wife, girlfriend, so be that. But when it comes down to it, we want to see the game. Now, I'm not saying every referee, every umpire, every official is going to get every call right. They're going to miss some things. We're going to yell at the TV. We're going to have our own content available on what they missed or should they have called that. Do you call that during the regular season? Do you call that only during postseason play? Is what you're doing affecting the outcome of the game as well as the production of the game and the way the game is played, the flow of the game? We've heard complaints in the past when the referees get too picky. The game lasts longer. When they're doing their job, are they doing it to the point where they want it to be about them? We've seen showmanship from officials in baseball, NBA, NFL, and NHL as well. You've seen in all aspects of sports where there's an umpire or a league official thinking it's about them. And I don't think that's fair. And on the other hand, I don't think it's fair for us to think that regular season games equate to postseason games. There's going to be a shift somewhere, either in the way the game is played and the speed of game is played by the athletes, and then the way the game is trying to be controlled by the officials. Now, with bubble play basketball being underway in this postseason, we've already can tell in day two that the officiating is affecting the outcome of the game. It's affecting the flow of the game. It's even affecting the way that some players are having a tendency to not play in their normal form of playing ball. We've seen it. We've seen it in baseball when the officials think it's about them. And what happens? It turns out to be an early shower night for you. We've seen it in all areas of the game. The NFL. We've definitely seen it in the NFL when the official think it's about them. When you're flexing to show a holding call, you think it's about you. When you're wearing a shirt that tight, you're thinking it's about you. When you are acting like Frank Drebin from Naked Gun 2 1/3, Secret of the Ooze, you're thinking it's about you when you're behind home plate. We just want you to call the game to the best of your ability. When the camera's on you, we don't need you smiling. We don't need you worrying about your hairstyle at that moment. You're out there to be a league official in the game where the athletes are getting paid a whole lot more money than you. And it should not affect on what you're doing when it comes to your job. Once the league addresses that, as well as there's hard on the players when they go against the officials, maybe then we'll see some clarity in this here. But until then, it's going to be a back and forth moment. And I hate to say it, it's going to get a whole lot worse before it gets better if the proper league commissioners don't talk to the head of the officiating. It's going to continue to be a problem. We're going to keep yelling at the TV. We're going to keep going on Twitter. We're going to keep disrespecting these guys as they're trying to do their job. But I say, hey, they deserve it. Case in point, on to the NBA. I'm quite sure everyone saw the horrible call. Was that a foul? Was that deemed as a tech? Should he have been ejected? I think the only way an ejection should happen in playoff basketball, in all of postseason sports, if there's a malice at the palace type incident. That's the only way. That is the only way something like that, when it comes that bad of a display of sportsmanship, okay. But a little shove, come on now. Come on, put him in timeout, coach. Take him out of the game. But don't take away from what these guys have been trying to do. Don't do that at all. I mean, it's a bad look. It really is a bad look for the NBA, the way that was handled with the ejection with Porzingis and all that hoopla. Again, the official was trying to make it more about him. He has a reputation like that. But on to the NBA and this playoff basketball atmosphere in the bubble. I don't think I'm the first one to address this, but it's going to be talked about a whole lot, whether you're at the water cooler, the barbershop, or with your crew at a man cave. The fans definitely make a huge difference. There's no home court advantage. There's no one that can spark you by the roar of the crowd, because I think we noticed that day one. Then we noticed it yesterday on day two. That's a big part of the game that is missing. Being at home, it's a little different because the content that they're giving us. There's a little bit more information coming our way, not just on the bottom of the screen, but a little bit more insight into the individual's performance, whether it's team play or whether it's what's been going on prior to the bubble and how we got to this point. I'm liking that language that's going back and forth. But I don't want this to turn into the 8 versus 1 seed. The bubble play is affecting that. Now, coming into this, I had my speculations about Milwaukee. Look, Giannis is that deal. But you see something in athleticism that comes out at you in a way it just blows up at you. It kind of goes with the Cubs pitcher who has the hitch, who now pitches for the Phillies. When he had that hitch in him, I said, someone's going to catch up with that. Jake Arrieta. Once they figure out the hitch, he's going to plummet down, just like R.A. Dickey. Once they got a timing on that ball, it's out the window. It's gone. And I think now teams defensively have figured out what gets Giannis going, what gets him going, what gets his team going. It's a whole collective team effort. There's not many teams in the NBA that play team ball, but I give Toronto credit. And I give Milwaukee credit for playing team ball. And the 76ers have tried to do it, but they're missing a big integral part of team play. But that's the only weakness I see right there with the Bucks. It's slowing Giannis down. And that's what teams have figured out about him. He needs that hypeness. He needs to be motivated. He needs the people. He's missing the whole message on the people. Now, being a Laker fan prior to LeBron, with this whole series matchup with the Blazers, everyone kept saying Dame Dollar. What's it going to take? What's this going to take? Will it be a shift? Is game one was the Lakers' play. Frank Vogel does not understand what's going on. You can't treat this Laker team as you did with teams in the past. I don't understand what's going on with that bench play. Who's to blame? And the shooting is through the damn roof. Okay, LeBron and AD, you don't want to do shoot-arounds no damn more. Damn that, man. Damn that. This is more on the line other than your own personal beliefs. This is team basketball. When they lose, he wants to point the blame. When they're winning, oh, we did this as a team effort. It was all, we were all together out here. You know, we have not lost focus. Well, apparently you have, because you've stepped outside of the boundaries of this bubble. Let's face it. The king needs the people. Look at these shooting numbers they had last night. The final 4 minutes and 25 seconds. I've never yelled at my phone, my laptop, and a television so much in my life. I think I did all capital tweeting last night. But they went 5 of 32 from the three-point field goals. 5 of 32. You're not going to win nothing doing 5 of 32 and nothing. That sounds like my dating life. And this dude, Dame Lillard, this dude is hitting shots by the logo like no problem at ease, like on double dribble. Are the Lakers in trouble? Not at all. I don't think so. I just call it great bubble basketball and very entertaining for the NBA fans out there. If you're just tuning into the show, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for tuning on in. But there are several ways you can follow the show. We have a page on Facebook, Who's to Blame, Instagram, Who's to Blame the Podcast, Twitter, at W2B, Dre Montez, and on YouTube, Dre Montez. You can also visit the website, whostoblame.com. We'd like to thank the great, amazing sponsors of the show over here in Bell Vegas. Make sure you hit those hashtags. R&R Services, doing roofing, siding, and room additions for you. 618-257-8644. You just kicked her out of the house. It's time to get a new room. Get a jacuzzi. Reach on out to R&R Services. SIP, Southern Illinois Independent Placement, 618-722-0173. Cosmic Comics and Collectibles, they're located at 132 West Main. For the kid in you and the adult in you as well. Also being brought to you by CNC Food for Your Soul, located at 1926 West Main. Food so good, make you slap your sister. Damn right. And also got Bigfoot Comics, Coins, and Collectibles. They're located at 101 East B Street. And they do have a coin show coming up if everything stays on pace here with the coronavirus situation. And that's coming up August 30th. And that'll be taking place over there at Bigfoot Comic Coin and Toy Show coming up right there for you already. And new sponsor out there that we picked up, detailing service for your vehicle. You look good. Why doesn't your ride look good? Reach on out to Shine and Go Auto Detailing. Make your appointment online at shinego-detail.com. My man Reggie would definitely take care of you right there. Reach on out to the people, by the people, of the people, for the people. Major League Baseball. This could get long-winded here. Fernando Tatis Jr., Major League Baseball's unwritten rules. I don't know how long you've participated in baseball, if you ever played Little League, if you only played just in high school, or you never played. But at some level, you've heard the phrase, those are the unwritten rules of baseball. You just don't do that. That's not allowed out here. So, some of the unwritten rules of baseball. If you hit a home run off a pitcher and it goes a fucking country mile and you take your time around the bases, unwritten rule, you're going to get hit with the ball. Okay. If you play to the best of your ability out there and you're jaw-jabbing the whole game and your team doesn't win, unwritten rules of baseball. They're going to try to fight you. And now, according to the other day, here's another unwritten rule of baseball that Fernando Tatis violated. 3-0 count. He hits a grand slam. They win the game 14-3. It was a 3-0 count. Okay. 3-0 count. So how many times have we yelled at players for not playing? They're not hustling, not giving it their all. But you get a young man now who Major League Baseball is trying to promote as the face of baseball. He's young. He's having fun all the time because the players they want to go out and market, they don't want to have no part to do with it. Mike Trout, for one, doesn't want to do anything that Major League Baseball wants to help promote the game for the young people. So they reach out to the young ball players. You got Mookie, and you also got this young kid here, Fernando Tatis Jr. As Cardinal fans, we know his dad. So we kind of grew up with this kid, so to speak. He's been a contributor to the game at this age of 21 in a way that is blowing people's mind. 11 home runs. And he not just hit home runs that barely go over the fence. He's hitting some fucking bombs. He's hustling. He's smiling every time. He's putting the Padres back on the map. When the last time you heard about the Padres? Tony Gwynn? That's it. Or you heard about the horrible divorce they had going on with the Padres in the front office and the bees out there in left field when they built that new stadium. That's the only press you probably gotten off the San Diego Padres. But here come this young man, and this bullshit here happens. So what did you want him to do? 3-0 count, just stand there? Just stand there. That's not his mode of play. He's attacking the game each and every time. Unwritten rule of baseball and his thing, if you're up by more than 6, after the 6th inning, you don't swing at a 3-0 count. Who wrote the book? How old was he? He's probably 85 years old that wrote that rule of unwritten rules of Major League Baseball. It is 2020. It's time to move forward, Major League Baseball. Stop getting mad as you pitchers, you prima donnas out there. Those of you know who you are. The wide receivers of Major League Baseball. The quarterbacks of Major League Baseball. Stop getting in your fucking feelings. Someone is going to hit a home run off you. You're going to lose a game due to a home run. You're not going to get every out. You're not going to get every pitch that you think you should get as a strike. It's a part of the game. That's why it's called wins and losses. That's why it's called that. So this young man going out there playing his ass off. If I was him, Fernando Tatis, if you're hearing Dre Montez right now, if I was you, every time I come up to bat, I'm taking 2 strikes. If I were you. Your coach didn't have your back at all. He got reprimanded in the dugout after the grand slam. He got reprimanded. Look at him. He should be the happiest man in baseball at that point. He's 21 years old, leading the league in home runs in this shortened MLB 60 season, and he's getting reprimanded for hitting a fucking grand slam. Pitch better. Play better. Do your job better, Major League Baseball pitchers, and maybe this wouldn't happen. Maybe it wouldn't happen. What would have been the outcome if he didn't hit the home run? If he just got a double, then what? That's why, like the next day when they were up 6-0, he stole third. Keep it up. That's why I like these little young ball players. They don't care. They don't care about what it was like before them or when they dad played. This is their time. Look how the game is being presented. Look how it's being told. Look how it's being sold. Look at the packages they're putting out there. This is not for old people no more. They're trying to get the youngsters out there. They're trying to get people to play baseball again because everybody keep going to the NBA and they keep going to the NFL. Nobody wants to play baseball. And this is why you're taking the fun out of the game. Let's keep those guys smiling, man. I want to see baseball players smiling all the damn time. Not just chewing tobacco, having useless conversations in the damn dugout. No, that's not always baseball. It was fun in the 70s and the 80s, but not now. It's not. Not at all. It's not fun at all the way it used to be. The way it used to be, it was fine for that period of time. Not now. It's not fine for that period of time at all right now. But this being Major League Baseball, they're going to do what they think is right, and I don't think it's right what they're doing, the way they're going about it, and the way it's being discussed throughout the media. They made that young man feel so bad that he apologized. When the last time you apologized for throwing a touchdown in the game? When the last time you apologized for getting a hat trick? When the last time you apologized you hit the cycle? Or you go out and get a quadruple double in basketball? When the last time somebody apologized for that? But you want a Major League Baseball player to apologize for hitting a grand slam on a 3-0 count? It's like the sports are turning in a way I never thought they would turn to. They're getting soft. They're getting soft out there. And that's the best way to put it. You can't take your time. You can't run the bases fast. You can't jerk the bat in the air. You lay it down, that's rude. You take your time, that's rude. Maybe my damn legs hurt. Maybe it's hot out here. Look at the Major League Baseball uniform. There's so much baseball is good for, and it's so much that is just so bad and they're so fucked up in the head. And then they are really going to throw the ball behind the next batter and the pitcher going to say the ball slipped? No. Your manager told you to do that. Your manager told you to do that. That's why you both got suspended. Come on. Get a hold of this Major League Baseball. It's not making sense to me at all on what you're trying to do. But Fernando Tatis Jr., you keep doing what you doing. Mookie, you keep doing what you doing. Keep making these pitchers suffer their ass off on the mound, especially the Houston Astros and the Boston Red Sox pitching staff. Go out to their ass. Go get them. That's what we're going to do. Who's to blame? I'd like to thank the sponsors in St. Louis as well. Downtown St. Louis, we have Game 6 Honky Tonk Joint, BB's Jazz, Blues, and Soups, Barbecue Madman, and Historic Soulard. We have Allstate Insurance, Jim and Julie Price. Get your golf cart insured today. Great Grizzly Bear, The Wood Shack, Hammerstones, and 9th Street Deli at Howard's, A Always Torn, Electric Cab in North America, Physique Fitness, and Ballpark Shuttle STL. Don't forget to visit the website, whostoblame.com as well. Will football be able to create anything remotely close what's been going on with bubble play in the NBA and the way the NHL seem to have gotten things a little bit right? Or will we have a little break like Major League Baseball has done when it comes to this pandemic? Everyone's saying football is a little different because they're wearing gloves. They have a helmet on. But what about in the weight room? What about in the locker room? What about on walkthroughs? All that goes into consideration as well. I mean, how often are these guys getting tested? I told you I had one done. They stick that thing up here to your brain. So how often is this going to go on? What's the feedback on this? What are the possibilities of no fans with the NFL? I understand the Kansas City Football Chiefs want 15,000 people there for the home opener. Is that the right route to go? Or does the NFL need the fans in the stands to survive? That's another thing to look at. I understand what the collegiate level is saying. You know, they're losing money as an institution. But those are what you call amateur athletes. We're talking about the athletes that get paid to do this. We're talking about the league that is run a whole lot differently than our collegiate organizations. But with the NFL, can they learn anything from the NBA? Can they learn anything from Major League Baseball? Can they learn anything from the NHL? And what about golf and NASCAR? Are they taking little pieces from here and there on how to do this thing right with social distancing in the NFL, but still being a competitive game, not taken away from the product nor the talent, because they do have the opt-out, but that window now has closed. But for the rest of us, are we going to get the same thing that we've always wanted with the NFL? Should we take this NFL season off? Should we allow the fans to come in there at a minimum of 10,000 people or a minimum of 7,500 people per NFL stadium that are hosting home games? What is the right way to do this when it comes to wanting to be a part of sports? Or should we all just go virtual this year, cut out cardboards? But when it comes to the players and the players' safety and not taking away from the talent of the game, I just want the NFL to get this right. Whatever way possible, they need to do this. You get all the data you need, but get all them doctors involved as well. Because I told you, stop listening to your friends and go to the damn doctor yourself. And that's what's going on with some of these organizations. They're listening to their friends and not listening to the actual medical officials. Who's to blame? You tell me. And our last one right here, it's a television show I've become, I'm not going to say a fan of, but I watched it, and it blew my damn mind. It's called P-Valley. Whew. I've seen Players Club. I used to only date strippers for a long time. I mean, when I was a truck driver, that's all I dated was strippers. Low self-esteem, they get paid cash. But this television show, P-Valley, takes a whole different twist to the stripper entertainment world. And it is, I don't know if this town is real in Mississippi. I don't know. But the characters in this show is something else. The music in this show, through the roof. The storyline, they got it. The characters they have, Isaiah Washington plays on there. Again, it's on Stars. It's called P-Valley. If you know what I'm talking about, let me know what you think about this TV show. What would you do if your mama took your life savings for you to try to get up out the strip club? And she done took your money and invested in something totally different away from what you're trying to do. I'm talking taking at least 50 stacks from you. What would you do? What would you do? I mean, just, it's a whole lot of scenarios in this movie that they try to kind of blend in with today's society. Is the struggle really that different? Or has the strip clubs really changed that bad in the hood? I don't know too many major cities with a strip club in the actual city. It's usually on the outskirts of town or something like that. But when I lived in Charlotte, North Cackalack, there were a lot of strip clubs inside the city itself that were predominantly African American. And you fall in that white rabbit hole and you go to strip clubs the whole time. You know, here, these are just adult establishments. If you watch P-Valley, those are fucking strippers. That's a strip club. BYOB, money flying from the ceilings. The dressing room, ratchet, looked like an old custodian closet from 1970 public school. But this show, I like it. The music is through the roof. I mean, it's no Players Club. According to this show here, P-Valley, the Players Club is probably PG-13 compared to this show. I've never heard people talk like this in a television series. It's kind of like when South Central came to Fox TV back in the day, and they took it off the air because it was too damn real. It was like when ESPN had that football show, Playmakers, and they made them take it off, or they were going to pull all NFL from ESPN because it was too damn real. This show here, way beyond real. You're going to find yourself throwing money at the TV. You're going, especially when Mississippi get up there and dance. Whoa, Mississippi is something else. And Mercedes, Lord. I feel like Ryan Clark, Lord. LAWD on that one right there. But guys, thanks again for tuning into today's episode of Who's to Blame, the podcast, episode 430. Again, prayers, thoughts, condolences to Lil Jeff and his family and friends and the softball community. I know he touched everybody, especially mine back in 1982 down in the Peabody Projects. But until next time, great people, enjoy your day. Enjoy this NBA bubble play. Major League Baseball, you were wrong for talking to Tatis Jr. that way. And Blues, LGB, WNBA players, I'm loving the commercials, the promos. I'm loving it. Keep it on up. In the words of my great-grandpappy, if you got to talk out the side of your mouth, she wasn't meant to look at it in the first place. Enjoy the rest of your day, great people. Enjoy, good people. Enjoy the rest of your day. Woo! Let's get on with our Wednesday game.